Discussion. Favored, opposed, item carries.
Okay, item 12 is an ordinance.
Discussion on item 12. A lot of discussion about this yesterday. Moving to a vote. Favored, opposed, item carries.
Item 13 is an ordinance.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Councilmember Kubash.
Mayor, there was an article in the Chronicle in reference to cars being impounded in violation of our ordinance. And I remember testimony or statements made at council back within the last month that there have been 847 citations issued. Do you know what the status of those cases are? Have they been adjudicated? And is there any update on that?
I don't think any of them have been adjudicated, but I can certainly, I don't personally know it as I'm sitting here, but I know we can get that information to you, but that would be pretty fast.
Well, if you get a traffic ticket in the city of Houston, you get an arraignment within two to 4 weeks, and then you get, if you set it for a jury trial, you get a trial within about a month, maybe 2. So some of these have been going on since February of 2014. You know, when it first started. I just want to see what the rate of adjudication was, or what status was. Thank you, Bill.
Absolutely, we will get that for you. Mr. Feldman?
I believe that there's a basic understanding between the chief prosecutor and the criminal counsel for the drivers of Lyft and Uber that since citations will likely continue through November 4th, and then November 4th is, of course, a change, that they're going to all be dealt with together immediately after November 4th, because both companies have expressed a willingness to resolve these citations, but to do it in mass.
Rather than them having to pay their lawyer to show up over and over again.
Consuming all that time.
Mayor, may I ask a question? Now, these citations are to the individuals and not to the companies. So how can Uber Lyft intervene and on the behalf of their drivers to handle these cases when the ticket was not written to them, it was written to the individual?
They hire the lawyers for the driver. It's the same lawyers that represent the companies. They're also representing the drivers, and they're speaking on behalf of all.
Thank you.
Councilmember Christie.
I'd like to just comment on an addendum that was put on there that was excellent. Sorry, my iPad went crazy. So in there, it mentions ARA suggests the following additional amendments. On about the second bullet point, there's driver appearance standards, and it will apply to vehicle for hire drivers. It's an excellent addition. It's just coming back from Seoul, Korea, and Tokyo. You look at the entire line of vehicles for hire, and they're spotless. They're spotless inside and out. It shows a pride in your city, and every cab that you got into, it was just, the appearance was good, inside and out. And I think this city, if we're going to be world class, that we need to have addendums like this to say that we're proud of the passengers we take to and from the airport and hotels. So that's a great addendum from ARA.
Councilmember Laster.
Thank you, Mayor. If I may have the opportunity to direct a question to Mr. Feldman, I appreciate it. Mr. Feldman, following upon your answer to Councilmember Kubash, I assume that it is the city's intention to fully prosecute all of those outstanding citations that have occurred since the beginning of time to the fullest extent of the law. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir. Recognizing that you have, I think there are like 1,000 citations currently outstanding. Recognizing that sometimes in the context of
anticipate that the city will be seeking a massive settlement or a lump sum settlement,
Yes,
rather than going after each of the individual drivers?
correct.
So how will that translate in enforcement in the future to the individual drivers if in fact we're setting a precedent to negotiate with Uber and Lyft or any other major company?
Well, after November 4th, of course, the world will change, and we won't have these continuing citations. I mean, right now, they're operating illegally, but after November 4th, they would be operating law.
And would this council be allowed to vote on the settlement, or do you have independent authority on that?
Council would not vote on it. It's a question of prosecutorial discretion.
Councilmember Kubak.
May I address the city attorney? In reference to a global settlement, since each one of these drivers has their own driver record, would the tickets then be going on their driving record? And what about those that might have missed court? I'm sure out of this many people that missed court, their arraignment or so, and they probably have a warrant. Then they may have omni-based things. I'm just curious how that's going to be worked out, if it's worked out globally, since citations are written individually to the driver.
I don't want to mislead you. When I say globally, it would be from the standpoint of negotiating with the one lawyer who represents all of them on how to resolve each one of them. So as to come up with a lump sum amount. However, each citation obviously is going to be disposed of individually, but without the cost, time, et cetera, of a trial.
Councilmember Lask. Councilmember Lask.
Yes, ma'am. I apologize. I should have asked this question in the first go around. Mr. Feldman, will this council be given a detailed report of the number of citations that were issued and the settlements for each one of those in relationship to the perfection of the citation and the individual case?
I will take your question as a request, and yes, we'll provide the information.
I guess, Mayor, I'm very concerned that the public may perceive that since the beginning of these citations, that there might be some public perception that the city has not as aggressively as possible pursued the prosecution of these in order to facilitate a massive settlement. And I think that's, to the extent that the public might believe that, I think it sends a disappointing signal, and I think we need to be cautious about that, because clearly every citizen that receives a citation expects their day in court or their day before judgment seat, if you will. So to the extent that any one of these industries appear to be getting off, I would hope that we do whatever we can to allow the public to understand that that's not our public policy. Thank you.
It's of course not our public policy to allow anyone to walk the law, but we have, as many council members know, there is prosecutorial discretion, and anyone who amasses a large number of tickets has the opportunity to go in and try to bundle them together and get them disposed of